Hello everyone, and welcome to the final results video for Season 1. I hope everyone has had fun in this championship, whether you've been here since the start or joined recently, and whether you've been a constructor or a driver. I've had a load of fun running it, and hopefully Season 2 can be even better. I think a lot of you will be thankful that we are done with the technical autocross courses, as the theme for Season 2 will be hill climbing. This round for me was the most fun, as we all had pretty much full freedom as to what sort of car we wanted to build. If I run something similar in the future, I've learned it's best to just ditch the cost multiplier though, and instead just give my own maximum budgets for each category. The variations in the years chosen were awesome, as we had cars between 1985 and 2004. However, almost everyone went for the $33,300 budget category, so in future I'll make sure there is more incentive to choose either a bigger budget or a lower budget. But for now, for the final time this season, we will move on to the cars. Once again, a very good entry for Mr. Consistent, managing 2 podiums this round. Second fastest autocross time with a 105.6, with new driver Dank Frank at the wheel. He could be one to watch for Season 2 in the Drivers' Championship. Also, second highest in the automation scores with a score of 57.3. This car went down the route of lots of power and all-wheel drive. With a 3.6 litre Boxster 6 engine, this car planned to make up its time accelerating between the turns. Here we have the best looking car of the final round with a huge 93 votes. More than half of the votes for the best looking car went to the NMA, and it only had 1 vote for the third best car and none for 4th or 5th position, as almost everyone voted for it as the best looking or second best looking car this round. Once again, a supporting T is the best scoring car in the markets with an average of the top 3 of 185.7. Topping each sport market this week, this car scored over 170 in each of the 5 different markets this round. It was the joint oldest car too, and the only rear-engined entry. Handling was clearly a priority for this car, as it was one of only 4 to go full pushrod suspension, and it was also the only car to opt for a Boxster 4 engine. This car had a huge 8.8 litre V8, which made it the highest scoring car in the muscle market and produced 480 horsepower. A big choice this week was what wheels should be powering the car. This car decided to go a front wheel drive layout, which is one of only 2 cars to try this. This car chose to use a 3 litre V8 engine, which made 263 horsepower. This is one of only 2 cars that chose to go with a V8 engine this round. Once again, Smoons Racing has a great entry, with 4 podiums. Third fastest autocross time with a 106.2, second highest scoring in the markets with an average of the top 3 of 169.5, third highest in the automation scores with a score of 56, and the second best looking car with 45 votes. Here is the second most powerful car with 450 horsepower. It was quite heavy, but it was hoping that all-wheel drive and high power could help with acceleration. This car had the longest wheelbase of any car at 2.75 metres, and it was also the only car with 4 seats. And here is the other front-wheel drive car. It was an interesting car overall, being the only car to use McPherson front suspension and the only car to have 3 doors. This car had the smallest engine of the round, with a tiny 1.4 litre inline-4. This was the least powerful car of the round, but still managed a decent 207 horsepower. This was the joint highest revving car this round, with an 8,200 RPM redline, and this was managed using a V6, one of only 2 this round, which was a little surprising. This car had the most efficient engine, with 23.6% efficiency, and it was also just one of 2 cars with fiberglass panels. This was the joint oldest car of the round, and it was also the only automatic car entered, which helped it being the most drivable car. Here's this round's third best looking car with 34 votes. Personally, my favourite looking car of the round, but I was always going to love a wedgie, budget, mid-engine sports car with pop-ups. It was also the only car with carbon fibre panels, which made it the lightest car of the round, at just 872 kilograms. I have managed to finish off the season the way I started it, with my second round win. My alternative history MR2 Mark III was the way to go for a used autocross car for a $10,000 budget. My approach this round was to go as lightweight as possible, and despite having just 208 horsepower, which is the the second lowest of the cars entered, the lightweight approach helped me get the fastest time of the round for 1 minute 5 second .4 after a lot of practice around the technical track. The fastest time makes sense as I got the highest track score this round in the markets, which helped me get a 3rd place in the Automation Markets category. The highest sportiness score and second highest drivability score helped me get the top spot in the automation scores with an average of 66.4, which was almost 10 points clear of second place. Sadly, I just missed out on the full 4 podiums with a 4th place in the aesthetics category. I'm happy to finish off season 1 with my best performance of the season. So on to the drivers' results for the round. I'm very happy with my first driver's top spot on the podium. After coming close on a couple of occasions, I finally managed to win a round. Congrats to Dank Frank, who managed an impressive 2nd place on his debut in the championship. I'm sure he'll want to be fighting at the top in season 2. And the final podium spot was extremely close, with 3 drivers separated by half a second, with Smoon Smithy coming out on top. And here are the constructors' results for the final round. I managed to do the double in this round with my 2nd constructors' win of the season. Closely behind was Smoon Smithy, with the more consistent entry this week, with a podium in every category, but not managing to top one of the categories this week. Ganner and Senior Racing once again both had excellent entries, as we expect from these two every round. And finally, Mikado managed their best entry of the season, as Gamer Me has managed to improve on his automation skills consistently throughout the whole season. Could maybe be one to watch for season 2. So here's the announcement for the mini competition that will possibly run alongside this championship. We hardly had any entries for round 4 with Smoon Smithy's car. I think there's only 2 or 3 people that submitted times, so I'll give it one more go, see how many entries we get, and if there's still hardly any entries then we'll just scrap this. But if you're wanting to have a go with my Thistle MR2 Mark III T, then I'll leave the link in the description below, and let's see if anyone can get a faster time than I have in the car. I know you're all excited to see how the final tables look, but that will be revealed in the rounds up video for season 1, which the link to is in the description. Thanks for watching.